What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Atomic Chess video. Today, we are right back in the thick of it with an absolutely explosive show ready for you today. So, let's get right into it, shall we? And, I don't know what to say about that because, frankly, I already got into it before I even started saying the intro, so that was a little redundant this time around. We'd already gotten into it. I'd gotten into it before you got into it. And something tells me this game will be over pretty fast. In fact, I'll pre-move and see how that goes. No, actually. Fascinating. Okay, well, I assume they'll follow up with a check, which I'll just block with the bishop. And there shouldn't be a good follow-up to that, so I'll probably just check the king with the pawn. And then... Well... No. Well, yeah, it's still a good move in any regard. Because they can't stop me from making a queen, because if the king went that way in response... Okay, well, now they really can't, because... Well, no. No, now they could, because the bishop's gone. Yes. I understand now. I'll just do that. They're just stalling, I guess. That's like the only point in doing any of this, so... Stalling it is. Check, and they'll push a pawn, then go back. Okay, impressive, I have to say. They have managed to deflect a lot of my vicious techniques so far. I'll blow those up, I don't really care anymore. And I'll block that pawn. I want a dark square, though, so that could be pretty tough if the bishop decides to attack. Huh. Interesting. I'll have the knight ready to replace that pawn if that pawn takes. Perfect. And now I'll fork you. Which means the king has to move, and I can then promote my pawn into a queen. I'll start by blowing that up, for starters. Which means you're cooked. And let's put the king under too much pressure to possibly give that bishop time to put me in check. Okay, what's the game plan here? Stalemate obviously isn't possible since they have more pieces, and I'm pretty sure stalemate only happens if there are no possible moves. Oh wait, I allowed that to happen? Oh, that sucks. Oh well. Nothing I can't take care of with just my rooks. Okay, I have to beat this with constant checks now. Repetition? Oh, darn. Well, hey, at least it was pretty obvious that I had the upper hand, and I was just trying to prevent these promotions down here. But, oh well. Does that mean I didn't have the upper hand? I don't know. Leave a comment down below whether or not I really had the upper hand or not. But anyway, what are you doing? Those are some awfully fast moves. Okay, they're awfully determined about what they wanted to get done. Maybe that means I'm gonna lose, because they're gonna, like, do something nonsensical. Actually, confidence doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna, like, go crazy up in here. But, like, it does because... Oh, okay, well, they could have checkmated there, but they didn't, because, like, I guess they're moving too fast, and therefore doing stuff that doesn't make sense. Okay, they didn't blunder that, so there we go. Well, cool, cool. I'm going to take a break and do today's puzzles because it occurred to me I usually do that and I don't. So, I mean, and I didn't today. So, okay. Pawn took. Do I just... Okay, yeah. It's something simple that results in checkmate. Just look for checkmate and you can usually win these puzzles pretty easily. I think it's this just because even though knight takes next, that would just be followed by this back rank anyway. And the point of knight takes that, like currently the rook can't just back rank because the knight is here, but if knight takes, the knight is no longer there, so the rook can then back rank checkmate. So pretty solid strat. Okay, and this is a simple battering ram because the bishop's defending the queen, so you just send the queen in, and you know, maybe if this rook were a queen, that'd be trouble, but that rook can't do anything to the queens, and the king can't go anywhere. So, case closed. Alright, back to your regularly scheduled programming. I shall face off against yet another enjoyer of nuclear warheads. Let's see what Band Gov is made of, shall we? Hmm. Falling right into my trap, are we? This is a simple line I like to use that I call Ringus Bingus. In other words, I don't have a name for it, but it's something I do frequently in atomic chess. This particular sequence of moves. Now, I used to move my queen here, like this bit one to the left of where I actually did it, like right here. And that's because if the queen were here, it would have eyes on this space and this space, guaranteeing an instant checkmate. Now, why don't I do that anymore? Because with an... Oh, sorry, I didn't expect to win there. Usually they push this pawn, and then I take here, blowing up these three pieces, following it up with this. I mean, the line is pretty thorough, so the Band Gov must have calculated that putting me in check would prevent me from blowing up the king, and that is wrong. So, glad Band Gov learned something here today. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get to finish off showing off my line, but I think I'm going to lose here because I or D, whatever. Something D Fred 23 has 1957 ELO, and that's pretty high, which means I might be in a particular pickle. Although rumor has it Prime Glitch Saber was 1900 ELO, so, you know, it's not the end of the world. Then again, the fact that I do not currently have 1900 ELO indicates that I am not Prime Glitch Saber, so to each their own. I'll do that. Only to go back. I just wanted to bait their pawn into moving for kicks and giggles, I guess. I'll blow up the knight, and if the bishop's still there in a move or so, I'll blow up the bishop. But the bishop was not still there. So, yeah, let's get a lockdown on that pawn. And I'll push that pawn, causing them to blow up. I assume this one. No, I just don't care. Okay. Well, bishop trade works for me. Oh. Okay. How would you like... Okay, where are you going from here? Obviously there, right? So I'll just go here, forcing a queen trade anyway, right? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I wasn't really using the knight anyway. Um, and that, like, a super dangerous queen is more valuable than a passive queen and a knight you haven't even moved at all. So, you know, it's things like that where you just gotta say, okay, well, it's a fair trade. Huh, what are you, lost in the sauce or something? Okay, are you willing to trade 2 pieces for that? You are. You are. I bet you didn't calculate that I could do that with my knight, though, huh? But now what? Now I push that pawn, you take my knight, I take your rook. And we are dead even. Right, this is complete equality. It says JD Fred 23 is disconnected. Okay, well, the fact that I've reached the state of total equality against a 1957 is extremely impressive for an 1813. So I might consider this a win. Let's see. I had an easy win, I had an easy loss, and then a repetitional draw, and probably another draw. So this video is coming out to complete net neutrality if my calculations are correct and I haven't forgotten anything, right? And considering circumstances, I'm willing to call that a win. Considering this final draw is against somebody with 134 more elo than myself. Sorry, 144. But it wasn't a draw because they won, because they disconnected. So actually, it's a win, not a draw, because they couldn't stand having a draw and they disconnected. Therefore, I win, so Glitch Saver stands triumphant. So, now that Glitch Saver stands triumphant, all that's left to say is thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. And until next time, take care.